I've tried to do that my whole life after that.
Jack, how difficult is it for executives to let employees set their own goals?
It depends on the strength of their company, and it depends on their own strength. In this case, Mr. Bill Howdy became a good friend. He was good enough that he could trust other people. I find managers who are not quite up to snuff have a tendency to be control freaks.
And therefore, by not trusting and not allowing people to set their own goals, making sure those goals are consistent with the vision of the company. But when they don't get a chance to set those goals, what they're really saying is they're not sure themselves of their own capabilities.
You said it exactly. Now, let me use you as an example. I met you when you first came in to take over a really responsible position in Michigan. It was obvious you were in a little over your head.
It was obvious to everyone except me, Jack.
Okay, I went to your board and they said, maybe we've made a mistake. I said, no, you've not made a mistake. He just needs more broad training than he had before, and let's see that he gets it. Your board immediately agreed that whatever we decided you would do. So I went to you and said, Mike, I want you to take some executive training courses. Go any place you want to go. You have the option to go any place that you want to go. The only option you have is that you don't go.
Yes, that
you don't go. How many boards would do that? Very, very few.
Jack, I think that shows the kind of leadership that's important for organizations, boards to have. They needed you they were looking to you as the leader to help them understand what to do in a situation that they did not know themselves what to do.
And they were particularly unqualified to train somebody.
Why is that, Jack?
Well, they were all individual successes. They probably had egos that would not let them listen to other people. So it took a pretty strong personality, and I have that, to tell them, you need to get this young man educated. They fell right in line. I thought it was. It took 15 minutes.
Jack, you brought up the subject, so I'd like to follow that along for a minute. You talked about how important it is for board of directors who are individual success stories themselves, but need to have a cohesive leader amongst themselves. How does a board of directors establish the ability to lead when at times it can be difficult to get a group consensus and group leadership?
They have to put their own self-interest aside and recognize the interests of the group that they're representing. If I could give you not a big business example, but a small business example. When I first came to Michigan State, I was put on the board of the Michigan Agri Dealers. They were in great financial difficulties. The leading cooperative in the state at that time was the B&W Co-op in Breckenridge, Michigan. The president of the general manager of that company was renowned for his success and renowned for having a strong personality. It became obvious that they were going to have to tap the funds of their insurance company to stay afloat. I suggested it. Stebbins immediately said, we need to get opinions from our lawyers and our accountants. So the next meeting, in came the lawyers and the accountants, and they said, if you do this, it will trigger an IRS audit. Yeah, we recommend against it. Stebbins immediately looked at me very adversarially and said, I'm on this board to preserve the assets. And I said, you're wrong. You're on this board to bring the same business judgments to this board that you bring to your daily business. If we wanted someone to preserve the assets, we get ourselves a trust officer. The room got silent. They thought he leaned back and smiled. And he said, "By God, you're right. By God, you're right." And we straightened that company out. As soon as they realized they had to use their business judgment in the setting they were in.